and then loggers. All these things we'll be discussing as part of the Selenium concepts. So by this time, you will come to an idea you can able to automate any website. Okay, you can able to automate because all the things that are required to automate the website will be discussed over here. So coming to the approach and framework. So the framework is nothing but just a organized way of putting out your scripts. Okay, it's all an organized way. So we have both inbuilt and also uh, you know customized frameworks. So in Python there are two inbuilt frameworks which we are discussing: unit test framework and PyTest framework. So we'll be seeing end-to-end unit test framework from the scratch, okay, and also PyTest framework. So these two are exception people who have worked on Java, and they will be not knowing about this framework because these two are different framework which is part of Python, which are exclusively used in Python, which is a part inbuilt part of Python. So these are very much used in the market by any companies. So we'll be discussing end to end with integration of reports as well. Okay, then we'll be discussing about page object model design pattern, how exactly we design our complete automation scripts uh, with the page object model integrated. Then we'll be seeing about the BDD framework and also the complete end-to-end PyTest framework. And then we'll start up completely automation project. We'll be discussing about the creation of the project from the scratch, all the uh, automation project related files that we create, what is the different folder and package structure that we create as part of our automation project. So that we'll be discussing over here, and we'll see Git and Jenkins really Jenkins integrations. We'll be seeing how do we create a repository, push and pull and check out code, and then commit the code into the Git repository. We'll be also seeing the Jenkins integrations, how to build the project, how to deploy the project. Everything we'll be seeing as part of Jenkins, okay, and Git and Jenkins, both CI/CD tasks. Git and Jenkins nothing but CI/CD tasks. So then we'll be seeing an extra real-time project, which is a complete end-to-end project, which we have discussed till now. All these things, by using all these things, we'll be discussing a end-to-end project over here, okay, integrated with everything. Then an extra add-on again to the process. We'll be seeing API testing. API testing is an extra add-on because right now in almost every company, people are asking about API testing. So we'll be seeing which is an extra complete different course we'll be seeing as part of this course. So Python is also a different course we'll be seeing as integration over here. Okay. So API testing using Postman we'll be discussing completely. I mean, to whatever the extent that is required for this thing, we'll be discussing. And we'll also see with Python coding. Okay. We'll be also seeing with Python. So REST API will be focusing much on. We'll be working on how to work with different, JSON files, how to convert the JSON files to the dictionary and then dictionary to JSON files. Or the HTTP methods, get, put, post, delete, all these HTTP methods. How do we work on variables collections, workspace, validation status code, content, headers. Okay, response body, everything. These are very very important as part of if we are working on API, you will be understanding. So we are almost discussing every part end to end. Then we'll be discussing about interview preparation, and also I'll be sharing you all the links and important references which I can, okay, to the to you as part of you once this is complete. Yeah, so I hope everyone understood. Yes, the whole syllabus will be completed in 35 days because we have a structure. Without wasting any topic, we'll be creating the process. Yeah, if it is not completed, we will be increasing one more week or whatever it is. So that is not a point, right? That is not a thing. 35 days is not a exact time which we fixed out. We have fixed out that is a nominal time. We are not trying to cover, then we can able to increase that. Yeah, hands will be taken, right? I didn't get you. What you are exactly mean to that. You are saying hands-on. Yeah, hands-on obviously will be provided. I'll be sharing all my recorded videos will be sharing on day wise. Every day recorded video will be shared, and top of it, the files which we discuss in the class will be shared to you.
So,
Yeah.
so what's the difference between manual and automation testing?
Yes, yes. I'll be explaining you today.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be explaining you what's the difference between manual and automation
Okay.
testing. Yeah. So any other doubts? Syllabus part I'll be discussing today as part of the thing. Any other doubts, guys?
No, sir.
Syllabus
No.
wise, and anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else have any doubts? No doubts. So I'll be also discussing a part of parallelly we'll be also discussing something called our basic my project related stuff. I'll be discussing about Agile. I forgot to mention there. What is real time? That we'll be discussing more on Agile part. Okay. Yeah, we'll be going through any real time project. Yeah. So real time project, I mean to say what I exactly mean to say in here, real time project is all about. I'll be discussing all the concepts. So once I discuss all the concepts, we'll be combining all the concepts and create a complete end-to-end project. So which would help you out in that. Yeah. Okay. So we cannot explain understand a domain separately. So we'll be seeing end-to-end. Yeah, fine, guys. So any doubts? Any doubts? Can I start my demo then? Okay. Fine. Any doubts for anyone? No doubts? Because I want everyone to be very clear, and this is the highly professional syllabus, and this is more than enough for any experience. 4 to 5 years, 4 years of experience to the max. You can claim out the experience into Python with Selenium. So because this syllabus is a very standard syllabus, you can, if people have experience, they can compare out. Okay, this syllabus we are covering everything end to end. Yeah, we are trying to see everything as part of it. Then we'll be seeing everything as part of this project. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hope you are understanding what I mean to say. You're not getting any confused. So this is more than enough for 1 to 3 years of experience. People, easy. We will see. We will open every website and we will try to solve every website interview questions once we are into mid of the process, so that you can easily answer all the interview questions. You'll get a confidence that you can easily crack it. Yeah, guys, fine. So now let me start with software testing life cycle. So as we already know, software development life cycle. So we will try to see what is the software testing life cycle. Okay, software testing life cycle. Today, I said you right. Today will be a demo class. People who are already there, which we are discussing today, kind of demo class for everyone who have been joined. Okay. So we will be seeing end-to-end software testing life cycle. We'll be seeing all the requirements, all the things as part of software testing life cycle. So we'll be seeing that. Okay, fine, guys. So what is meant by actually? Before that, I want to say you what is testing actually. What is meant by software? In specifically, what do you mean by manual testing and automation testing? People who have experience, can you please speak out? It should be like interaction class. I want everyone to be understood as an interaction class. People who are into manual testing, they could please speak out. They could please speak out.
So it includes the execution of software components using manual.
Okay. Okay.
And automation execute one or more properties of interest.
Okay. No, no. Yeah, please tell me. Yeah. Yes. So I will try to say in a very simple way where you can able to understand. So manual testing is nothing but you're testing, and we are only speaking about the web application over here. So in our context we are discussing. So manual testing is nothing but it is a testing of an application, okay, without any automation scope or without any coding. So you are trying to test all the functionalities, performance, okay, and you are also testing all the validation and verification of the application, okay, without any coding. So that is basically called as manual testing. So what do you mean by verification and validation? This is a two different points when someone asks us what is meant by verification and validation.
So,
Okay, what do you mean by verification and validation? Suppose if anyone say testing, the only thing that comes to them is verification and validation. So what is meant by verification and validation? See, so what I mean to say here, just be listen carefully. So when testing is considered, some whatever the definition, nominal definition or traditional definition that you see in the websites, that's a different story. But normally testing is done for two purposes. One is verification of that product, and then project or product, and then validation of that product. Okay, please be on mute now. Everyone who has joined, please be on mute. Okay, please be on mute. Everyone. Okay, fine. Thank you. So verification means it will check whether the software, okay, uh, is conforming the specification that is being defined. Okay. What I mean to say over here is exactly in verification. Okay, in verification, we will see whether the application or the software is developed as per the, as per the specification. Okay, as per the specification. But whereas validation, we will check whether the software is trying to meet the requirements, whether my expected output and the actual output is same or not. I'll give you a simple example. Suppose, guys, don't get confused. So testing means that actually testing means what? Testing is basically for verification and validation. Okay, so basically I will give you a simple example. So in a website, suppose think that I'm going to test a simple link. This is a link. Okay, this is a link. So I'm a developer, I'm a software developer. Okay, I'm a software test engineer. So my manager or someone asked me to test this application, specifically this link. So my what is meant by verification is like I have to verify whether this is being expected to be developed in the same way, or the specification of this link is exactly or same or not. Suppose my developer asked me, or my product owner who is responsible for this application asked me, create a link that is having this kind of create a link with the description like this. Okay, so I have to verify whether there is a link that is being created, and that verify link is this one. Okay, got it right? So I have to see whether it is a link or whether it's a checkbox, whether it is a button, so whether the specification is correct or not. Got it right? What I am verifying here, verification is nothing but it is just a specification verification. So I have to see, suppose there is any text box is there in my Gmail, I have to open, I have to write some data, I have to provide some input. in the Gmail page, I have to pass my username and password. So if in order to pass my username and password, I have to see whether that is developed as per the requirement. Suppose my requirement from the client is I need to create a web text box which should ask me to pass some input. Suppose a developer developed it instead of creating that input text box, he has created some button. Is it exactly the requirement? Is it exactly the specification which is supposed to be? No, right? No, right? That is not the specified requirement. My specification is very clear, saying that it should be a text box. So that is like I'm verifying whether it is been developed as per the specification. That is nothing but verification. Validation is what? After your development is happened, you are passing different inputs. Okay, when you are passing different inputs, suppose I want to click on this, it should click and it should open a new web page. This is the expectation. I am clicking on it, it is not opening, suppose. So it is not acting as per my requirement. Then it is a bug. Okay. So this is validation. Validation is something what? Validation is what? Validation is nothing but we are trying to see whether my software is meeting the requirements of the expected and output results. My expected results is when I click on it, it should open a web page, and it is not opening a web page. Suppose take an example, that is nothing but validation. So you should have understood very clearly while developing a project, you can verify it, but after development of product, you can able to validate it. I hope you understood, right? You can able to check that verification whether it has been designed as per the specification. After it is designed as per the specification, you can validate with different inputs. Okay, suppose there is a text box, I can validate with numbers, I can validate with characters, I can validate with alphanumerics, I can validate the length, I can validate the specification, I mean what I mean to say, the different pattern, the size with the capital letters, small letters, all these are validations. Okay, all these are validations. I hope everyone understood, right? So basically testing is done for that purpose. So base testing is done for that purpose. So in that there are two types of testing, as we already know. One is manual testing and automation testing. So basically manual testing is like this two we are doing manually without any coding. Okay, we are not writing any coding, we are trying to test the application, basically functionality. So we can, it is not majorly the functionality we have to test. Okay, majorly we will be testing the functionality of the application. I will explain you the data flow of what are the different testing techniques, what are the different testing methodologies. All these things we will see in the syllabus, okay, as we progress. So here we are just seeing the very basic understanding. So what is manual testing is nothing but manual testing is nothing but it's a process where you don't write any of your code. Okay, where you don't write any of your code. It is all about you are trying to test an application, basically to execute all the test cases. Okay, without using any automation tools you use, and then you basically write some test cases. After that test cases, you will try to execute your test cases according to the test cases, I mean execute the application functionalities according to the test cases that you write. So that is a process that you follow in manual testing. Okay, the process that you follow is like you will try to write some manual test cases step by step of what to be tested. Then according to that you will try to write the execute the application. Whatever I said, verification and validation, you will do it manually. So can someone ask, can someone ask me, is it possible to do 100% automation? 100% automation is not possible. Okay, 100% automation is never possible, because automation even has, there are certain limitations. So you cannot able to automate. Okay, in Python, Selenium we are discussing, right? So Selenium cannot has a capability to automate some barcode and captcha. Got it, right? When you are trying to log into any application, they'll be asking us, right, barcode and captcha. In order to scan something, we should have a barcode. We'll be having a barcode. If I want to type something, to log in into some application, I need to enter the captcha. So all these things, it's not possible as part of as part of Selenium Python. And the major thing, we cannot automate the desktop application. See, there are two types of major applications that are there in market. Okay, one is desktop and other is web applications. So Selenium has a capability to automate only the web applications. What do you mean by desktop application? I'll give you simple example. So do you know that VLC media player, and do you know the very simple you know, Facebook application, or you can take up any other application which can be launched in website. Yeah, Gmail application, whatever it is. So Gmail application, I'm saying, I mean, so you can open any application in the web. That is nothing but web application. In the market, out of 100%, around 90 or 85% the applications are web applications. 85%. Web application means you can able to launch any application in the web. Like Facebook, you can go to Google and you can type www.facebook.com. It will open your Facebook application completely. You pass username and password. But whereas you see VLC media player, you cannot do that. You have to download, you have to install in your system. It will be open local into your system. It cannot be launched in the web. Yes, sir, VLC media player and all the other things. I hope you are getting right what I'm saying. Guys, please speak out, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I mean to say here is, so the application that is not launched in the website are called desktop application. Then we are not going to see anything about desktop application. There are other tools which can able to handle that desktop applications. Okay. So coming to the other major what do you say major differences, or what we are going to see as part of software testing life cycle. So what do people will ask you a question, what is the requirement, why do you test an application, what is the use of testing an application? So if everything is fine, what is the use of test? Tell me, no? So the testing is basically done to clarify our requirements. So okay, so see, I know I have developed an application according to my feasibility. Okay, according to my feasibility, then tell me what is the use. So the testing is majorly done by the test engineers to check that application is stable, it is not having any kind of bugs in the end of application. The quality assurance and quality control, these are the two things which is majorly being considered. Okay, so people say that, okay guys, boss, whatever you are asking is very clear, you understood, I understood it. People, you should try to explain all these things in interview. People ask, and no one will ask you about theory things, but you should able to explain that. See guys, I have explained, I mean, I have done according to my requirement, everything is fine. Now tell me what is the requirement of testing. As someone said that, yeah, there are certain criteria that we have to follow. We have to see whether my application is exactly developed or been tested, and after tested there is no bugs. So that is what my checkpoint. I have to see my application has no bugs in the end of the product. I have to see my application is not having any kind of bug before I release it into the live. If it having any bug, then it is a production bug, which will affect the test engineer. So test engineer responsibility is to test the application end to end. Okay. So people will ask you, what is the use of test engineer? So test engineer means, test engineer is not a person who is just testing the application. He is responsible for each and every uh, everything as part of that product. So he should do end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing means what? He has to do the performance testing, he has to do the functional testing, he has to do the system testing. So there are multiple different testing. Okay, as part of manual testing, there are multiple different testing stages which is there. Okay, which test engineer has to work on. Okay, which test engineer has to work on, that we will be discussing according to our process. Now let's see actually what is meant by software testing lifecycle. We know software development lifecycle, you people already know software development lifecycle, SDLC. In FDLC, what happens? I'll give you example. First thing is basically requirement gathering. First thing is requirement gathering. Second thing is analysis. Third thing is design. Fourth thing is code. Then test. Then what? Deploy. Then maintenance. I'm not going to say about this one because this is not much been used for test engineers. For especially test engineers, we are going to see software testing life cycle especially. So what do you mean by software testing life cycle? Our testing will come in the picture of test. See guys, I'm not a person who teach you more theoretical. I'm a person who teach you more practical things. Whatever we are going to discuss as we progress, we'll be discussing more of with coding. Okay, more with coding, and if anything you require me, you can ask me at that point of time. Okay, so we are going to see more of coding part as process. Okay, this is what companies expectations. We are not going to see any more theoretical understanding on the system. Okay, we'll be seeing more on practical understand as we progress. Okay, so software development life cycle, we have a phase called test phase. What is this phase? Test phase is, so after you suppose think there are two companies. A is a TCS company, as I said you, and B is some client which is there in America. Suppose a bank called BNY. Okay, this is a bank which is a client for TCS. So what this TCS person will do, TCS person, A person will go to the bank. They'll ask, sir, what are your requirements? So you are a bank, your bank has a lot of processes, lot of application process. Your bank has business process. Please explain us the complete business process of your application, or what is our application to be developed. So this requirement gathering, who will do? Requirement gathering is basically done by the higher level authority. Majorly you can see the business analyst people. Okay, business analyst people, they will try to go to this BNYM people and they will understand the complete requirements, the business requirements of the bank. There will be no coding involved here, guys, till here point. Then all the requirements, suppose they said that I want an application which should be like this, which should have like this is our business process, our clients are this many, it should handle this many, this should be the process, the button should be here, I mean the complete application should have a flow like this. So they will explain a complete business level understanding. They will not explain anything about application in particular. So after that is completed, they will come sit together, this business analyst people will sit together. They will try to do some basic analysis. Sorry, that person has told us to develop some 100 functionalities. So is it possible to develop all 100? They'll come, they'll sit together, they'll discuss, they'll come to a conclusion saying that, okay, boss, out of 100 requirements, we can only develop 80 or 70 because there are some limitations of other development. So they'll do some analysis. Analysis is a phase which will clearly able to explain, like we'll try to do the analysis of the requirements and we'll come up with a strategy, what is been possible, what is not possible, what are the limitations, and all this will come into this phase. After analysis is done, they will say, okay guys, fine, yeah, so as you said, okay, 70 or 60% is okay for me, you just please proceed. Other people, other requirement I'll give to other client, or they will say that, okay, we don't require it. So whatever it is that they will take up. So once they will take up, then it will move to the next phase called design phase. So in the design phase, there will be two types of designs, like high level design and low level design. In the high level design, they will just create the complete architecture of the application, and the low level design, they'll create the complete UI. They'll create how exactly the page should look like, where the button should be there, where my drop down, where my other complete functionalities, where should I place it, what should be the requirement, as per the requirement, is it proper place, everything they will try to design the application. I hope you are getting right, everyone. See that they will ask you, please create a web page which should have a username, password, details, and then submit button. Suppose that is a requirement. So they will ask you certain things. Okay, so once they ask you certain things, we have to just come up with the requirement. Then once we come up with the requirement, we'll completely say them okay, whether we can able to test it, and design will be happened accordingly. So once the design happened, then they will pass it to the developers. Here the developers comes into picture. Till here, no developers will come into picture. Maybe UI developers, if there is anyone, UI UX developers will come here, or other people will come here. Okay, but majorly the developers won't come in this space. Till here, all the pieces will be more on business level understanding, not on the application coding level understanding. So once here comes, they will move it to the developers. Please mute. No, please go and mute someone. Who is there? Go and mute. Yeah. So then they will move it to hand over to the developers. Developers has to develop according to the requirement, according to the design that is been provided to them. Their work is to do exactly the functionality. They have to do according to the requirement. They have to verify every application. They have to verify, and they have to parallelly, you know specification verification should be happen, and they have to develop the application according to that. Once that development is happened, they have to move that into the test. So here the test engineer comes into picture. Test engineer has to test whatever he developed. Test engineer has to develop, test, or whatever the testing has to be happen on that application. So after testing is completed, they will say, okay boss, now testing is completed, I am going to deploy it, I'm going to move it to the production. So the test engineer will say, okay guys, I tested five functionalities. Out of 5 there are 3 errors. Then what this test engineer will do, he will try to raise a bug to the developer. Developer will try to take up, and then he will fix that bug. Again he'll reassign to the test engineer. I'm going to say everything, show everything in Jira. We'll see the real-time agile process, everything as part of project. We'll go and we'll see every day what is your task, everything we'll see as part of it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, we will see the real-time agile process. I'll show my project itself every day basis, what to be done, what is happening at all. You can get an idea. You can just keep it as your own requirement. So we will deploy that. They will deploy it, and then they will, once it deployed, it will be live to everyone. So in the production, you may get some errors, some bugs, and all. This maintenance people are there to maintain that application that is deployed. This is the process of every company, every product that is released in the market. Okay. So in test is not done like that. Test has a process. Okay, when it comes to testing phase as a process. Testing phase will be done with multiple different processes. So we will see what is a testing phase. So once it is moved to test, so will the testing directly happen? You can directly test it? No, there is a process. That process we will be seeing as a software testing life cycle. There is a life cycle how to test an application. That life cycle we'll see. The first thing what happens, so once everything is clearly provided, once everything is clearly developed, okay, there are multiple ways. In SDLC there are multiple ways. We can develop an application once at a time. We can develop an application step by step. We can develop an application once complete whole process is completed. We can parallelly develop an application and test it. So there are multiple models which we use as part of it. We have waterfall model. We're not going to see all these things, guys. This is nowhere useful for you. Okay, just want to know what is the process. We are going to see agile, which is very, very important. Okay, we are going to see agile, which is very important. 95%, 99%, all the companies are going to see agile. So if you want, I'll show you what is exactly the agile process. Okay, agile process and how they exactly they'll try to see. Okay, waterfall, we have spiral model, we have multiple things. We have V model, we have VV model, we have agile model. Okay, all these things are there. So in companies nowadays, all the companies, almost 90% companies, 99% companies are using agile as part of their so so we are going to see all that SDLC process. Okay, so agile process we are going to see much. I'll explain you complete end-to-end agile process with a real-time showcase. Okay, agile we are going to see. Now I don't want to take up this agile here over here. That's why I didn't explain anything. So once it is moved, so our process is nothing but it's a step-by-step process. We are not going to develop, all these things will be done step by step. Step by step means I'll give you example in a very simple way. Suppose, see, I want to develop an application. So there is a application which client give me. Suppose a client give me an application. See that there is an application like this. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, just be on, just be this guys. See, I have acquired a task. I have acquired a task, whatever it is. Be on hold. Be on 1 minute. So, guys, this is called Agile board. What is it? Agile board. So, all this Agile actually, Agile is a process flow where you can able to automate the application. I mean, sorry, you can able to sorry, I'm sorry, see the complete process. So, in Agile also, we have you will be seeing all this Agile as part of Jira. Jira is a tool where your all Agile process is managed, or you can say in a very clear way, Jira is a PMP, project management tool. Okay, so we are going to see about Jira. Jira is a very important tool. You can see this is Jira. What is this? This is Jira, guys. So this is Jira. We have to do, we have in progress, we have ready to test, we have something called done. So there are multiple phases. You can see there is something called Jira active sprints. Okay, Jira, backlogs. So in the backlogs, if I go and see, I'll have this called stories, guys. What is this? Stories. They are nothing but stories, guys. So what do you mean by stories is, what is meant by stories is, there are requirements. They'll be sharing the requirements to you. If I open a story like something like this, if I open a story, if I open a story, people who are into real time, don't worry, I'll explain everything into end. But if you are real time, they will get to know. They'll understand what is I'm discussing. What I am discussing, people will know. Okay. So these are the stories which are created. I can able to see the requirement here. Okay. Like you see, the description about it, what could be implemented, what is the date, exactly the requirement, and then they have attached some screenshots for my understanding. So I will get to know, okay, oh, the requirement is this one. So I have to see, my testing has to happen according to this. So what I mean to see, in Agile process, they will not develop the whole application at a time. All the things which we discussed over here, like requirement gathering, analysis, design, and all, will be done by step, the application part by part. So today, suppose in this sprint, we'll say sprint. Sprint is a time span which will be allocated for all the stakeholders of this project. Who are all these people? Business analysts will be there, developers will be there, test engineers will be there, DevOps engineers will be there. All these people, whoever are there as part of SDLC, they'll be providing some time span. They'll ask, was you take this much time and complete a whole process in this time. Okay, in Agile, this is the process. They will say today your this sprint or this sprint, this time period, 15 days or 14 days sprint, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week sprints will be there. Basically 1, 2, 3, these are the major sprint durations that will be there in companies. Sprint is nothing but a time period which will be allocated to the people, to all the stakeholders or all these people, in order to do the whole process within that time. So today they'll say, boss, today classification, some section is there. This section you are responsible to do the requirement analysis, do the design, do the test, the development, do the testing, do the deployment. Everything they will say part by part. Tomorrow the sprint is completed. Next sprint will go. Next sprint, let's see this section. Next sprint will go. We'll see this section. So they will not develop the whole application at a time. Okay, they will develop the application step by step, part by part, so that what happens, we will get to know what exactly we are developing. Suppose think that there is a waterfall model. After whole development, the testing will come into picture. So in that case, if anything mistake happen in the development, they have to do redo agree. But in this case, you see, right, everyone will be in picture. If suppose the requirement is wrong, okay, or the development is wrong, there itself he can rectify and he can complete. It will not affect the whole application, guys. Got it, right? So that is a major thing that is taken as part of Agile. Agile is nothing but it's a step-by-step process to develop, to do all the processes. Okay, it is done in step-by-step way. So that client will come into the picture. Client will ask you, okay, today you develop classification. Tell me exactly as you developed it as per the requirement or not. Is there anything? So if there is anything, you change it now itself, so that it will not affect the whole application phase. Got it, right? It will not affect the whole application. So all these models got failed because there is no proper way to maintain all this process. That's why Jira came into picture, which is used by all the companies in the Agile, where all your requirements and everything will be done in a process. So coming to the software testing life cycle, what happens whenever there is anything that has been provided to you, there is a first step called test planning. So test planning is the test planning as part of software testing life cycle. Suppose think that they have written some code, they have developed some application, they have developed something, and they have moved it to you. Once it is moved it to you, the first step they have to do is, okay, normally we'll start here from the test environment setup. Test planning document is a one-time document that is basically created by either your team lead or your manager. So on the higher level part, people will be creating. What is meant by test plan document? It is a document which will have the complete details, how to test, what is the approach, everything. Okay, what is the scope, what is the business issues that are there, what are my roles and responsibilities, what are the test deliverables I have to provide. Okay, what is meant by industry standards, what we are following, what is the automation tools we are following, what are the different metrics we are following. Everything, guys, everything will be discussed as part of this test plan document. Okay, test plan, what is exit criteria, entry criteria, what is the scope, what is the limitations, all these things, what it will be done. The managers will come into picture. Got it, right? The managers, all the team lead will come into picture. Okay, project manager, project team lead will come into picture. They will try to create a complete static document, which is a one time document, what is been defined in the first time. Okay, so which is a very clear document which will be clearly explaining how to you test that application, how to test the complete process and everything. Okay,
It for the entire application, or is it for each sprint?
no, it will be for entire application. It will not be done for each sprint. That is, each sprint you don't need to create this test plan document. Test plan document is created only once. Okay,
Okay.
test plan document is created only once. You don't require it to create again and again. So in the test plan document, they will be mentioning about, what are the references, introduction. Okay, introduction. Okay, they'll be explaining what are the risks, what is the testing approach. Okay, what is the entry criteria, what is exit criteria. Okay, what is who are the approvals that should be there. Okay, what are the items to be tested, what is test pass, test fail, all these things. So in the test plan document, they'll be mentioned clearly about what is the approach we are following, what are the features to be tested, what are the limitations. Okay, what are the reference, what is the entry criteria, from where we have to start testing. Okay, what is the test plan id. Okay, what is the version we are testing. Okay, what are the features we are not testing, we are not covering as part of it. Okay, what is the pass and fail criteria, which can be considered as a pass. What is the exit criteria, till where we can test. What are the different test environment required for it. What is the estimate of this project, what is the schedule, what are the different resources are there. Okay, how many risk, is there any risk for this, what are the future assumptions, what are the dependencies for that, who are the approvals required. I hope you're getting right what I'm saying. This is not done for every sprint, guys. This will be done for one time. That has to be followed as part of every sprint. I hope you are getting right.
Um, so how can they project how can they have the scheduling time when, because usually in sprint, it
See,
depends
that is
upon.
just an estimate we'll make, and that won't be the thing that will be maintained throughout the process. That has to be changed as per the requirements, as per the process as we goes on. Okay, that is just a document which is a static one, which is not dynamic. Static means one time prepared and will be shared to everyone, and it is the responsibility of all the test engineers who are testing the application has to be followed, has to follow the same procedure which has been defined by them.
Okay, but this will not be shared to the test team, right? Usually,
No, no.
this is for managers like that, like a product owner or
So,
somebody.
yeah. This will be shared to the business team, or you can say the client team from the test manager or the team lead. They'll be sharing the thing what we are actually following, and it will be also shared. I mean, this document will be also shared to the teams in order to follow the process exactly to what is being provided over here. I hope you are getting right. This will be majorly created in order to share it to the client how the process is happening, and this is a one time process which is happening, which will be done in the initial stage. Okay,
What is entry and exit criteria?
so entry criteria is where they will see whether from where we have to start my testing point until where, till which point once we reach we can consider that is exit. Okay, that is the final testing plan. I mean, what I mean to say, till where we can test it. So suppose there is some application and it has some limitation, right? We can only do performance functional testing. So till where, so we can reach to till where point we can say that okay, the testing is completed. So that phase we will say it is a exit criteria, and from where we have to start, what is the first approach we start. So that is basically is called entry criteria. Okay, clear, right?
Can you explain with an example?
You want me to explain me an example of what is meant by entry criteria and exit criteria, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you example, simple way. Basically, 1 minute. So entry criteria is basically the process where we try to start our process. So as we say that, suppose I'll give you a simple example. Basically, suppose you want to start an testing of a small unit. Suppose there is some small module you want to start testing of. So if you want to start testing of that module, first you will start the testing by unit testing that, right? You will be doing that. You will be testing an application using unit test. So basically, you will start where you will start. You will try starting whether that component is developed as per the requirement. Okay, whether that conditions. I mean, whether that process is exactly been defined as per the requirement. So you will start it from unit testing. Okay, you will start it from unit testing. Okay, there you will try to provide the complete things. So in the unit testing you will be seeing what is the environment that is required, what is the test data that is required. Okay, what are the data that should be testables, what are the different things that you will consider, and on top of it you will see what is exactly the uh, testing should start. So what I mean to say exactly here is, suppose think that I want to test a small web page. In that web page I want to test a login page. So in that login page, the first thing I used to do the unit testing. Second thing, I'll go for integration. Then I'll go for system. Then I'll go for UAT. So I will try to see in a step by step. So once think that you are reached the system testing, you can feel that okay, this testing is enough for me to completely validate and everything is working as per the thing. I will say that okay. So till system testing, I can able to do, and I can move it to the UAT in the next phase. So that you can say that is exit criteria. That is not same for every field or every unit that you develop. It will be a common thing that you have to process in the overall thing, and that changes on as we go in the process. So what I exactly mean to say, the first step what you do, what is entry criteria is like, from where you start testing it till where you will stop ending. That is nothing but entry and exit criteria. I hope you are getting right what I mean to say.
So when you say unit testing, usually it is like um, when something is developed just to test that piece of code, that is unit testing, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So basically, unit testing is nothing but it is all about you're testing every unit. Suppose think a simple example. There are suppose 3 modules in your application. You're testing every module, and every module, every function you're testing separate with the code. Majorly, it is related to the code. So that is nothing but unit testing. Okay. So you will start testing it from the unit process. So that is nothing but unit testing.
But
Okay.
So
the unit testing will be performed by developer, right?
basically from the developer, and sometimes in some companies even test engineers will do that. That depends, but basically that is actually been done, has to be done from the developer end. So unit testing means, I said you right, normally unit testing will be done in order to check as per the requirements, business requirements are matching or not. So that will be done by the developers itself while he will developing that application or that field. Suppose in the login field, that should only accept the characters, it should not accept digits. That is that even a basic unit test that you can make on that that field. So that will be done basically from the developer itself. Developer will try to create, while developing itself he will try to see whether he is developing according to the requirement or not. So that is actually done by you developers. Sometimes again the unit testing, once that has been reached to the test engineers, the test engineers will also do some basic unit testing thing, and then they'll more focus on the system testing part. They'll more focusing on the integration system testing, they'll more focus on UAT. So all these things will be done by the test engineers majorly. Okay.
Okay.
So you can say that majorly entry criteria is like what we start, and exit criteria where we end.
Okay. So typically, we do functional testing.
Yes, yes, functional testing will come again in part of your black box testing. White box testing and black box testing are two things. I will explain that thing as we progress. Okay. Functional testing will come. Functional testing, you can think in that in a simple criteria, it will be as part of non-code testing. You will not do any unit testing, and unit testing and integration majorly goes with the white box testing, but all the system testing, UAT testing will come into your black box testing, where your functional and non-functional issues comes into picture. So you have to mention all the things. I hope you're getting right what I'm saying. So system testing, like end-to-end testing, you will be testing from the scratch. You will see the whole application is working as part of the system is working uh, as per the requirement. So that is what system testing. Majorly testing is done for two criteria. One is system testing and then UAT testing. So a lot of the companies, they'll be more focusing on UAT and system testing. Yeah.
So basically, so basically you first check functional testing, that is everything is in place on the web page, and
Hmm.
another one is data testing, that is API testing.
Yeah, there are multiple things. See, API testing again comes into you can say backend testing. It comes into backend. API is something. I'll give you a simple example of API. See, guys, I'll show you an application, a simple application. Suppose this is an application. Okay, this is the application. If I just click on this, if I just click on it, it is going to provide me some names. If I say technology, see, it is going to provide me some basic data. So this is nothing but this is the API. This is the API which is integrated with this application, which is asking me, providing all these things. I can able to choose something. So API is nothing but it is just a application interface. Okay, which will be on top of. See, I'll give you a simple example. Suppose you want to log in into Naukri. Whilst you want to now log in into Naukri, you will be seeing a very common thing: log in with Facebook or log in with Gmail. Yes or no? You will be seeing it, right? That point. So what is that Gmail and Facebook? Gmail and Facebook are the APIs that are provided to the Naukri. Gmail and Facebook are APIs which are been provided to the Naukari people. What they will do, they will say, Gmail people will say, let this person already has account, let this person validate with me. So what you will do, you will try to say login with Gmail. Once you say click on login with Gmail, you provide your email ID. What it will do, it will go and validate whether your name and your email ID is there in the DB of your what is this person, whether it is logged in and everything is properly there. So once Gmail validates it, it will send a response to the Naukari. Okay, this person is there in the database. You can also log in this person through your application. So you don't need to create a separate login for your Naukari. You can log in directly with the Gmail if you have. So what I mean to say, here Gmail and Facebook are the two APIs which are being provided to the Naukari in order to validate the Naukari application. I hope you are getting right. I hope you are getting right. So that means they are providing an APIs. They are providing their APIs to them. So nowadays, every company, every project you see, every application you see, there are APIs integrated. There are APIs integrated. So APIs is nothing but it's the third party. I'm just saying, don't say in the interview. I'm saying for your understanding, guys. It is just a third party application which is integrated or which has been included on top of your application, which will provide you some data. See, this is an application which is giving me some all the names. This has not been developed as part of this application. So I can choose anything. I can choose any name out of it. Got it right? I can choose, I can go and click on OK. So this is a API which I'm going to see. So this is an API which I'm going to see. If I type suppose text, I'm getting some names, right? I'm getting some names, right? All these are not being provided by this application. This application is not giving this. API is giving all the names. So you're choosing. See, right? If you want to choose any country, do you think that suppose in a make my trick application, do you think that they will create all the country names with the country code? No, they'll call the what do you say, locations API. They'll call the cities API. They'll call the what do you say, countries API. So once they call, all the countries will be projected over there. So nowadays everything is like a what do you say, a patch on top of your application. Got it right? On top, you are getting right. They are calling APIs for any small requirement. They are not developing it in their application. They're calling the APIs. I hope everyone understood what I said. Guys, you understood, no? What is APIs and all in a simple way?
Yes, yes.
You understood, right? So it is a patch, right? You understood, right? What I mean to say, it is a patch.
So,
It is not my application. It is a patch. When I say tech, so some other application is providing me all the names here. When I click on it, so this is the API which is provided. I'm calling this API. That is what API is all about. We are going to see what is the backend validations and all, how API testing and all this. Yeah, you can tell me. Yeah,
no,
guys, please tell me.
no, just that unit testing is nothing but, for example, if you have a page that have login and password, then you just validate that if it is taking a certain number of characters as a password and all that.
Yes.
So that, yeah, so
Yeah.
this is entirely
Unity.
different from API testing. API testing is usually done after developing the entire application
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
with the third party tool.
Yes, yes. No. Third party tool itself is called as a API. Third party is a API. Got it right? So
Okay.
APIs is basically to system request and response. So you are requesting your login, and then that Gmail is giving a response to Naukari saying that this person is a right user. You can please log in him. Okay. So which is requesting, this Naukari is requesting Gmail to say that whether I am a valid user or not. Then now Gmail is giving them response to Naukari. Okay, he's a valid user. You can please log in your application. I got it right. So
Right,
Naukari is using the Gmail and Facebook APIs.
right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
What
see.
is
See,
what is UAT testing? Because you said system testing is entire end-to-end testing.
UAT testing is normally done in real time. What happens if you are a product based company or if you are a service based company? If you are a service based company, so what you will do, suppose you are TCS, you will try to provide that output or the developed or tested output or to the UAT users. UAT users are, there are some business users, there are some client users, there are like some group of users. In again UAT, there are alpha and beta testing. Okay, there are two types of testing. We say alpha and beta testing. So they will try to keep some users, some number of users, okay, before they launch into the production. There are some business people also involved on the client side, not on the your company side. They will check again, recheck it, whether everything is working properly before they release into the market. Got it right? Understood, right? So you dispatch, you're from TCS, you dispatch to the client. Client people will check now. There are some people who will be specially allocated for testing. So they will take some, suppose in the beta majorly they will take some group of some 1020, suppose it an application is released to 1 crore people. So what they will do, initially release that many people, they will take some 1000 or 2000 people as part of their UAT beta concept. They will move them, they will see whether that 1000 people are working properly with the application. Is there any performance issues, is there any functional issues? They will again check it. So they will just make some testing before they release into the application. So this, got it right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is called
And
UAT.
when you say exit criteria, will performance testing will come because we are not doing any.
Yeah, that depends. Performance testing is also required. See, performance testing should be done for any application that you do. Suppose think that you are developing an application which is a thing that you are from a Facebook company. For Facebook people, functional testing, they will make it as little less priority than performance testing. The reason because performance testing. Oh, I have one more class now. Okay. Yeah. So performance testing is basically you are trying to test an application with number of users. See, I will do one thing. This application, I will say to log with thousands of 10,000 users. I'll increase the load. I'll increase the volume. I'll increase the stress. Okay. I will see whether my application is still working as per expectations. Okay. Now 10,000 users, 30, 40, 50. I'll increase the load. I will see whether my application is working as per the requirement. Got it right?
Yeah. So will we be covering that in this class? In
No,
this
performance is not. No, performance is not actually been tested as part of our Selenium. Okay, Selenium is majorly for functional testing.
Mhm. Okay, so there are different tools for that.
We have different tools for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. So this is normally the process. Okay, this is normally the process which we will follow up in order to do it. Fine. So anything else, guys? Anything else? Yeah. So once after the test plan document is completed, they will move into the environment, test environment setup. I will explain this point. Okay, test environment setup, test case designing. I'll show you a Excel file how to design the complete test case. In again test case designing, we'll have a template. We'll have a complete template, and then test execution. Here in this case, your automation comes into picture. Till here, automation won't come. Till here, the process follows. Okay, we have test planning, then test environment setup, then test case designing, then test execution. There your automation comes into picture. Then test reporting. So you have to send the report to your clients. Okay, I will explain you guys. I will explain you end to end what is test environment setup in the tomorrow class. In next class, I'll explain all the other things. So today you understood, right? What is meant by test planning document? It's a document which is nowhere related for any what do you say any low level employee, or you can say less experienced employee. This is all about done by the project managers and the team lead majorly. They'll be creating. So if you are a senior resource, you will get to know how to give your what is the approach, what is the limitation, what are the assumptions, what are the different tasks, what are the different test cases, what are the approach, what are the different resources required. Everything will be provided as part of this test planning document. This will be shared to the client, and again the same thing will be shared to you in order to understand, in order to follow this document and do it accordingly. Got it right? You got it right? Everyone clear, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What approach, what different approaches they have?
What do you mean by that? No, what
So
is our
see,
approach? How we are see what is the approach we are testing? Okay, what is the approach we are trying to see in order to test this? That depends on every project what we are trying to see.
So generally it is either whatever you're testing will depend upon your sprints, right? I mean, how can you what else could be the approach?
So it is all about our see, approach is basically, you can say, it is a strategy that we are following. So we basically see, testing approach is nothing but testing strategy we are basically following out. What is the strategy we are focused in order to do this? Got it, right?
Not
Hello.
really. Uh, I didn't understand. How, like, you can take a practical example
See, in
because
a very simple way, what I mean to say, basically, testing approach is basically you're saying which approach you are following in order to test the application. So what is basically a test strategy? There is a separate document called test strategy document, which is again a part, you can say, of test plan document. Okay, which will guide the QA team to exactly understand the business terms, basically. Got it, right? Hello.
hello, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it
I'll
is
look.
just like approach. That means what I mean to say is like, what is the objective of us, what to be tested. Okay, it is not focusing on most of the project what it is to be defined, but when it comes to approach, what approach we are following, what approach, I am not getting exactly in what terms you want to say, but what is that approach we have to follow in order to reach our target, in our goal. Got it, right? What approach we have to follow. So yeah, so normally your question is right, what you ask, the question is right, basically. So in test plan document, we'll focus on the project, what is the scope of project, what is the coverage, what is the different things, what to be tested, what not to be tested, but out of which approach is what. Okay, what are in the possible things, what is what we are following. I hope you understood, right? It is a part, you can say test plan document is a whole thing, out of which test approach is a one part. It is approach, it is only says about the approach, how we are following. I hope you understood, right? Testing plan is complete document where you will have multiple things, you will have all the assumptions, estimates, non-estimates, I mean, all these things. But test approach is, okay, these are all possibilities, non-possibilities. Out of the possibilities, what is approach, that is our test plan document, I mean test approach thing. You understood, right, what I said?
Okay.
I hope you
Yeah,
understood now. So
I
it is a whole. Test plan is a whole, out of which possibilities you take. How do you take step by step possibilities? That is test approach in a simple way for you to understand.
okay.
Got it, right? So it's a
Yeah.
plan, complete plan. So in the plan, you will also write estimates, non specifications. You will write whatever the assumptions. All these are only to some extent, but out of which what are possible, what is exactly. So you will take only the possibilities aside. In that possibilities, you will try to see how do you approach, what is the first step, second step to reach our target, to reach our testing targets. That is what we will try to see as part of test strategy. We say test approach or test strategy document.
Okay.
Okay, what are the tools we are using? Suppose, see, what are the test automation tools we are using, what is what are the risk analysis we are doing, what are the different test environments are required for it, what is the test approach we are trying to follow. Everything will be mentioned as part of approach test strategy. But whereas the complete test plan document has possibilities, non-possibilities, it is completely a end-to-end document. So we cannot say these two are same. You can say it is a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Yeah, so we will see all the things tomorrow, guys. We will see the next part tomorrow. So I said you right, we will go step by step. We are going to see everything end to end with the agile methodology. See, this is called agile board, this is called agile board in Jira. Okay, people who has understand, they will know this is called Jira. 99% all the companies are using Jira. This is a Jira specific to my company. Everyone has a generic Jira, that depends. So in the Jira, if you go to backlog, they are called stories. Stories are nothing but the requirements which are being provided by the business analyst to the developers. Okay, developers will try to pick up these stories. They will develop the application. I will stay step by step, guys. Okay, I'll be saying step by step. Tomorrow I'll start Python. I'm already mid of Python. So we'll be see these are the requirements. Okay, they will be sharing. Business analyst will share to the developer. Developer will develop it. After that, we will pick these stories. We'll understand. We'll do the requirement understanding. Then we will test that application as per the requirement. Then we will say, okay, testing is happened. So I will say how exactly the from scratch. Who are the different people involved here? Out of people who are involved here, how they will be writing, who is business analyst, who is scrum master, who is product owner, who is a developer, who what is the work of test engineer, what is the work of DevOps engineer, all this process, real-time process we'll see. Okay, so we will start Python soon, guys. Actually we started Python in the last classes, but few people who came, for them we discussed. Tomorrow we will continue the Python which we have started. Okay, got it, right? Anything else? Anything else you want me to say? We have started very basics of Python. We'll be seeing. Okay, we have started only one day completed, nothing much. You can get that video, it's already available in internet. So in the Durga's website, I guess, or YouTube or whatever it is. So you can we will be more focusing now on the syllabus part. So syllabus part, it is 100% more than enough for anyone. Okay, it is more than enough for anyone. You can please go ahead and you can able to understand what we have discussed. This is more than enough for 3 years, 3 to 4 years of experience. We are going to see everything, guys. Extra add-on is guys, you can please talk with the team. Extra add-on is API. This is a separate course, guys. This is a separate course, but I'm teaching as part of this course. And Python is again a separate course. Complete core Python is a separate course. So I'm teaching this as part of one course, included Selenium with Python. So our course is only Selenium with Python, but I'm going to teach two courses, which are Python core as well as API testing. Okay, which are add-ons to that what we are going to see. Yeah, anything else? Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot, because I have to move to other.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Any doubts? No doubts, right?
Thank you.